here we go. Friendly reminder, and this might be the motivation you need. Are we listening? You only have essays tonight and tomorrow, and you're done. You only have tonight and tomorrow, and then you're done. You will never, ever. You show up on Thursdays, and writing week is over once we finish class. There's no essays on a Thursday night because that's test day, right? You usually go home and you get to breathe and all that stuff. We hold that true. So you only have tonight and tomorrow of essays, and then you're done. What? You have no tests, dude. It's writing week. But during a normal week, you don't have homework on Thursday, so I honor that during writing week. So you only have tonight and tomorrow of essays. Okay. Please listen carefully. I'm very explicit in the words that I say, and I mean what I say. Here we go. You need 3 sheets of blank paper. You need 2 essays. You need 2 prompts. 3 sheets of blank paper, 2 essays, 2 blank prompts. Have those out on your desk, please. Blank prompts? 2 prompts. You know how you have stimulus and prompt? The 2 sheets, one's packet? Yeah. You need 3 blank sheets of paper, 2 prompts, 2 essays. That's a prompt. Then you have the other one, stimulus one. Yeah. Well, they're all prompts. One we call them stimulus prompts, and the other one is just prompts. All right, here we go. Okay, let's look at your prompts. You have 3 essays tonight. In 4th period, I planned out 2 whole essays. Would you like to be like 4th period?
Yes, please.
Yeah, because you were not like 4th period yesterday. Let's be like 4th period today, shall we? You have 3 essays. And in 4th period, I planned out 2 of them. They only had to do 1 by themselves. So let's be like them, yes? Okay. You are doing stimulus number 1, stimulus number 5, and prompt number 8. You should probably mark those down. Stimulus number 1, stimulus number 5, prompt number 8. Is everyone explicitly clear in 7th period? Show me how many essays are due tomorrow, 7th period. Oh my God, have we learned things this week? When things are due, things are actually due? Fantastic. All right. Take out a blank sheet of paper. Take out a blank sheet of paper. You are. 4th period also made your life easier. Do you like 4th period today?
Yes.
You should like 4th period today. They made some very strong arguments, and I am always a person who deals with logic. Is everyone clear? Nothing I do is incredibly definitive. Everything, if you can make a good argument, I'm always above it. Today, you only have one paragraph due in your essay. Is that fair? Yeah. You'll be happy. Okay, write my rubric. Prompt number 3. This is the rubric you need to be writing. On one of those blank sheets of paper, write your rubric. Just a friendly reminder, the faster we move in class, the higher your quality of life is at home or during lunch for those friends of ours who use their entire lunch period to write their essays. So the faster we move in class, the better quality of your life is. 4th period, got 2 essays planned. If I can get to your 3rd essay, I would absolutely do it. The goal is not for you people to be sitting at home miserable, but we do have to practice these skills. Can we agree? So tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow will be your last night of writing for homework. Okay, and then Thursday will be your last day in writing week. Now, do you want a fun fact? Gianni, do you have this written down? You have it written down? You got all your colors done? All the stuff? Okay, do your colors, dude. Do you want to know when your next writing week is, or is it better to not know? You do know if you look at your scope and sequence. It's all on there. Your next one's in week 10. Well, we're in week 6, dude. So it's in a month. Huh? There's 6 total. So the faster you go, the better your quality of life is. At the top of the page, you should write your name. So we know who's getting who. So when I'm recording them, I can start, giving you points. Okay, you've got 10 seconds to finish. Okay. Please listen carefully. You are going to put your prompt number 3 rubric on top of your prompt number 3 essay and planning. Prompt number 3 rubric on top of your prompt number 3 essay and planning, and you are going to hand it to someone who has not graded one of your essays. Go. What do you got, Nola?
Why is it only one?
Because someone made a good argument that it was a little unclear, so that most people didn't write it. And I was trying to be kind, Nola.
I did the second one.
Oh, I love it.
It was really bad.
So then it's good we're not scoring it. No, I love it. No, I appreciate that. Because you should have learned yesterday that every essay should have 2, but fourth period did make some good arguments, so I heard it. All right, here we go. You're wasting your time chatting. Well, then make someone trade with you, Donald.
Okay.
Oh my God, we're doing it across the room. I do appreciate the effort. Here I go, of course. You have written your name at the bottom because we do the same things every single day. Put your name at the bottom so I know who is scoring who, please. All right, here we go. Can I see your prompt? Do you have any of your prompts, Nola? Any of you? Because I can't find my prompt one for that. Thank you. All right, prompt number 3 says, listen, describe one economic innovation in one of the regions above. Okay, so looking at your essay, looking at the first sentence, they should have restated the prompt, and they should have identified one economic innovation. All right, read it. If it's good, underline it, score it. Do not grade identify yet until you tell me what their innovation is. What is their innovation that you are seeing? Nola? Flying cash is bomb answer. Is everyone did I plan this one out for you?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. So everyone should have flying cash. This should be super easy. Ah, damn it. Okay. So, flying cash should be the answer, so everyone should be getting 2 out of 2. Here we go. Provide 2 pieces of evidence. With your green, you're going to circle them. When I say evidence, what do I mean, Gianni? Vocabs. You're going through and you're circling your vocab, just the vocab terms. So go through with the green and circle your vocabs. What do you got, Izzy?
Are you allowed to ask you?
Yeah, I would love that.
Banking houses and bill of exchange.
Banking house, bill of exchanges. If I plan these S's out, they all should be 8s, right? Except for your analysis. I guess you might not get the analysis. Mr. Harding.
Flying cash knows vocabulary.
No, because it was your answer, isn't it? What do they have at the end of their first sentence for their economic innovation? Well, read the whole thing and then ask me a question. Ellery. Paper economy? Ooh, interesting. I will accept a paper economy. Paper currency. Am I accepting paper currency? Nah, bro. Nah, that is not. Hank knows paper means money. He's 3. That's not a vocab term you learned in this class. No. All right, what else? Donald.
Mine is multiple extra vocabulary.
Multiple extra. Got it. All right, like what?
Tariffs,
Okay.
Malacca, and Caravanserai.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they just need 2. So sometimes you get extra, sometimes you don't, but as long as they have 2. All right, this is where they're probably not going to score points on the analysis. When I say analysis, Emerson, what do I mean, my darling?
Like tying the prompt back to your evidence.
No. Why would I want you regurgitating what you already said? Right? Stella.
Tying the prompt back, or tying your evidence and prompt back to what is going on right
Well, right now is when?
now, in the modern day.
No, it doesn't have to be modern day. Amy?
Use a future event.
Yeah, to a future event. To a future event. You're tying it to a future event. You're making sure you answer the question. If it's about economic focuses, then you should be tying it to another economic thing in the future. Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! Is this hard to do in week 6 of AP World? Yeah, because I have only taught you 5 weeks of content. Can we agree? Is this skill going to get easier the further into history I get? Yeah, it's going to get a lot easier because you're going to be able to tie it to things. Now, I will tell you that in class, you know how in my lectures, I'm always like, hey, this is going to lay the foundation for what will become the Protestant Reformation. Yeah, and I'm pulling it to something you're like, wait, that doesn't happen for a while. Guess what I'm doing? Analysis. So, hopefully, after going through a writing week, when we get back to regular content starting Friday, when I'm talking in class and I'm pulling it to future events and trying to pull it and draw connections to other things, you should be like, oh, that sounds important, because 77% of your AP exam score are essays. And guess what? Your LEQ is mostly analysis. Your DBQ is entirely analysis. So, you're struggling with analysis right now, and that is perfectly fine. I'm going to have you call out your answers because I didn't tell you how to do that yet. I didn't give you the answers for that yesterday, and I'm going to tell most of you, nah. And the reason is for two reasons. One, you're just trying it, and you're bad at it. Sorry. It's like the first time you played basketball. You sucked. You got better, but at first you sucked. The second reason is you haven't learned enough content to really pull it to. Does that make sense? But that doesn't mean we're not trying. Is everyone clear on that? Because if I don't teach you analysis now, it's going to be hard for you to retain it later. Is everyone clear? So we have to struggle with it so that way we can get better. Okay. Here we go. Who is trying to give their analysis points away? Whether you think it's 1 point or 2 point. Who thinks they have a good one? Rinkus, let's hear it.
Flying cash is supported by the rise of the Song Dynasty by increasing the practicality and safety of interregional trade, thus giving rise to new inventions and other economic activities.
No, all they've done is summarize exactly what they should have been doing with the evidence and identify. All they did is like mix their words around. No.
It has to be like a specific.
Yeah, it has to be pulling it to like a future event. It has to have some sophistication. They did a great job summarizing, and you should tell it was a great summary. But that is not analysis. You summarized, Callie.
The system will eventually stay around on a monthly basis of almost everyday economy.
They're so close. Who is it? Donald. It's really close, but you're not quite there yet. You can't just say everyday economy, right? You can give him a point. I will happily give a point. That is one of the better answers I've heard of the day. But do you hear how lack of sophistication that is?
Yeah.
Modern day, like if you said modern day economy, but like, you know, a little like, yeah, we got to get it. But if you talked about the United States-based economy who drives worldwide affairs, that would be beautiful. But we got to get the sophistication. Thomas, what do you got?
Flying cash was a significant economic innovation because it made currency safer to carry around, encouraging trade and vice versa.
No, that's a summary right there. That's a 0. Nola.
Flying cash overall will lead to trade increase because it's safer and Chinese banking houses will influence.
No, that's a summary. That's a summary. You're restating everything we just talked about. No, Charlie.
This influenced modern currency and how carry money with us today without flying cash, being the first efficient invention to transport money, modernizing money transfer.
Okay. Whose is it?
Stella Griggs.
I like how official we are with Stella and Griggs. Stella. Okay. It's a 1. Did you see how wordy it got there?
Yeah.
You said all that stuff in the essay. You don't need to hide. You don't need to restate your whole essay in the analysis. Yes? This shows, and just go into the analysis. This shows that this will become the future economy and will be based on the principles that are being built during this time. Whatever. It's a 1. It's so close. It's very good. We just need a little sophistication. And, like, let's cut back on some of those words. Can we agree? You heard it, didn't you? You heard it. You're here. Heard it. Heard it? Heard it? Whatever. You know what I mean. Dylan.
Flying cash improves some Chinese economy by moving into a paper economy.
No. 0. Ellery.
Flying cash should instead of commodity currency systems.
They're trying, and I appreciate they're trying, but, like, they need a little more effort, right? You can give them a 1, but put, like, a sad face next to it. Because it's better than 0, but it's still not really, I'm not really happy with it. Does that make sense? Will you please tell them that? That Samantha Bennett was kind of like, meh. It's kind of there, but it's kind of, they need a little more sophistication. Jade.
This economical innovation impacted the world's banking system to this day and helped the Song Dynasty achieve
No.
safer.
The fact that it went backwards doesn't. No. Sorry. They tried. You can tell them, like, hey, I really appreciate that you tried tying it to the modern day, but then they just went right back to the song, right? They talked about modern credit cards or modern automated connections and stuff like that. Then it went, wah, but no. Mr. Nash. Why? Oh, is your first name? It's so funny. I forgot your first name was Charlie, and I was like, why the hell are you wearing Charlie on your thing? Sorry.
Flying cash allows safer and more efficient trade outside of Sunshine.
No, that's a terrible answer, Mr. Nash. That's a 0. All they did was restate the prompt. Anyone else? Oh, sorry, Emerson. Your hand is like perfectly behind Amy.
These benefits help Song China prosper from the economic innovation of flying cash and allow the exchange and movement of currencies.
No, that's a restatement. If they said because flying cash allows Song China to dominate their economic time period, which will allow the Mongols who conquer them to expand worldwide trade even further. That's a good one. That's a good one. We love the Mongols, man. Tie it straight to the Mongols. The Song dynasty lays a foundation of economic strength that once given the power and reach of the Mongols will increase worldwide trade by 8%, eight times. That's a beautiful answer. But y'all, no. Gianni.
Flying cash allowed merchants to travel with less weight, allowing them to carry more goods and more safely.
It sounds like a repeat of what they wrote earlier in their essay, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a no-go. What do you got, Joshua?
These methods aided in the success of China's economy, evolving the region into its capacity of both creation and exploration of goods.
Yeah, but they didn't say anything. Whose is that? Okay, you didn't say anything. Did you hear that? Like, what is the last part? What did she say? Exploration. Yeah. Whatever. That's not saying anything. Can you say which will eventually lead to modern day China, which is the center of the world's economy, in both industry and stuff like that? Do you see how that's a definitive thing that you can touch and say, yes, China today is that? And you can say, oh, that sounds good. But when you just like float words out in there that don't really mean anything, they just sound fancy, you can't score anything. What do you got, Viola?
I have a question. Are we also grading the second?
No. Do we want to? Yeah. Did we write a second one?
I have a feeling most people.
Okay. We will not grade it because I didn't grade it for fourth period. So what you are doing now at the bottom of the page, you should come up with a grand total. Most of you are sitting at 6. Can we agree? I wrote the rest of it, so I know the rest of it's good. You should be sitting at a 6, writing 2 positive things and 1 piece of constructive criticism. I think we all know what the constructive criticism should be. It's one of 2 things. Either the handwriting sucks and they need to know, or the second thing, their analysis is weak. It's not specific enough. It's not tied to the future. Be specific in your criticism. Remember, constructive criticism is something that they can improve tonight. They can do better today. Okay, this is not a future thing. It's not saying you should drop AP World. Okay, that's my job to tell you. All right, you should be writing 2 pieces of positive. If you have a stapler on your desk, you better be stapling and passing. As soon as you get a stapler on your desk, you need to pass it. Kelly, you've got a bunch around you. Viola, you have one next to you. Can you grab it, please? Okay, if you have a stapler, you better be stapling and then passing. Let's go. Quickly. Let's go. Viola, grab that stapler. Guys, remember, the faster we go, the more I plan. Like... The faster we go, the better things are. Rubric essay. Rubric essay. Why would I? No.
No,
Yeah.
I did something wrong with my stomach because it's on 2 pages. So
What? All right. It goes rubric essay. I want to see the colorful rubric on top. You are going to go talk to the person you scored and give them your feedback. Go. Go. Donald, you need to staple it, dude. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be holding your own essay in hand. You should be looking at the score. Here we go. Now, please listen very carefully. It may affect you right now. It may not affect you till later, but every single one of you will have this problem. So look at me. Look at me. Look at me. We do peer grading for 2 reasons. One, I think it's really important for you to see what other people write. That your peers, who you are sitting next to, who you are in the same school, who are in the same class, are writing about. So you can evaluate how well you know the content versus your neighbors. And sometimes you're going to be like, damn, I'm smarter than this kid. Yeah. And then other times you're going to be like, shit, I'm a moron. How did I not think of that? And that's a good thing. I think that humility is important. Is everyone clear on that? So seeing what your neighbors can produce versus what you can produce, that comparison, I'm doing better, I'm doing worse, that humility is important. The second reason why we do peer grading is because I want you to see what the graders see. If it follows the rubric, is it nice and easy to grade? Yes, okay? If it follows the structure and does exactly what it is, it's a very easy grade, and that's what I'm trying to force you to do. Because keep in mind, every single grader who grades your exam on May 15th, they are grading over 9,000 essays in a week. 9,000 essays in a week. Do we want to make their lives harder or easier? Easier, because no, you idiot. Why would you work this hard and then make their lives harder? We want them to give the points that we have earned, and we want to make it easy for them. So by seeing the rubric, practicing the rubric, and grading other people, you can see how important it is. Pass, Rinkus, your graded essays. If you do not agree with the score that you have, you can put it in the drop-off box, and I will personally score it. If you ever disagree with the score that you have received from a peer grade, all you have to do is put in the drop-off box, and I will happily score it. Donald is collecting your essays that went ungraded. Your ungraded essays are going to Donald. Donald is collecting your ungraded essays. Rinkish, just put the essays on the desk next to you, love. We could talk about the excitement of paper passing, or we could work on your homework. I think that's a better answer as well. Here we go. Which one do you want to start with, friends? By the way, do you see how much nicer I am when everyone brings their essays? Just making those connections. Which one do we want? Izzy, which one do you want? Prompt 8. Let's do it. Prompt number 8. Nola, can I borrow yours? Yeah. I know you have it. And I can't find it. I really don't know where it went. Here we go. Prompt number 8. Describe one similarity in 2 of the religions. Someone read it as regions earlier, which doesn't make much sense. Listed above. Describe one similarity in 2 of the religions based on the list above. All right, looking at the religions, which ones do you want? What do you got, Thomas?
Well, I was going to say Buddhism and Hinduism.
How much can you tell me about Buddhism? You got 2 other outside pieces of evidence? I think Buddhism is always a little tricky. Even I've been teaching this course 12 years, and I'm like, I got more than you, but I got less than probably necessary. Emerson.
Christianity and Judaism.
Oh, shit. How much Judaism you got? You got a lot?
Christianity and Islam.
I would think Christianity and Islam is going to be the easiest ones. Why? Because I know in class that I've spoken about both of these the most. Can we agree? The easiest one on the whole list is Islam. Because we spend a ton of time talking about Islam. Can we agree?
Yes.
Between Judaism and Christianity, you're kind of split. All right. What is one similarity that they both have? Be careful. Listen. Be careful. Because if you pick a similarity that you can't fully describe on both places with 2 vocabs for each one, it does not fly. That is how important this planning is. So what is this similarity, Gianni?
They follow the teachings of Buddha.
Okay. How much Abrahamic knowledge do you have, Gianni? You got 4 specific terms that you can use? I don't. Like, this ain't a judgment on you. I don't. So I'm going to stay away from the Abrahamic. Now, is Abrahamic completely correct? Of course. But I can't come up with 4 terms about it, so I'm not going to pick that one. All right, what do you got, Nola?
They both actively seek conflict.
And what's the fancy term for that? Ah.
And like I know it. but
I know you
it's-
know it, but you don't get the points unless you say it. Words matter.
That's probably the easiest.
It is the easiest, but we need the term. Charlie.
Universalizing.
Universalizing. There you go. Guys, if you don't know the word, you can't get the points. Do you see how important your vocab is? Hello? Will we have a greater appreciation for our vocab going forward? It's not just something miserable Samantha Bennett makes you do. Here we go. Universalizing. It means what, Nola?
They both actively seek converts.
Actively seek converts. Okay, so this is a similarity between. Now we got to get specific about Christianity and specific about Islam. Which one do you want to start with? Islam? I think Islam is much easier. Here we go. What is something that the Muslims are doing to actively seek converts? We talk with so many about these things. I can come up with like 6 things right now. What do you got, Viola?
They've been trading.
No, I'm going to reject that. I'm going to reject it because it's saying describe one similarity to the religions. You can't just like generically say trading, right? Now, is trade facilitating this? Yes, but they're also doing other things to do it, and that's just not a great answer. Does that make sense? Okay, what do you got? Okay, I'm wary about missionaries. I'm wary about missionaries because missionaries is kind of a vague term. Can we agree? There are better terms out there for both Christianity and Islam, so I'm going to reject missionaries. What do you got, Amy?
Don't they have like those magic people?
Yes, they do, but hello, saying the same damn thing to Nola. If you don't know the term, you don't get the... What is it, Joshua? No. Sufis. Sufis. And what are Sufis, Joshua? They're not magical. What are they? You literally just gave me the word. Mystics. That's why I called it on you. They are mystics. Who do what, Joshua?
You use magic to attract, to like people will be like the gods, like give them powers.
You are going well above here. What do they do? Why are they famous?
They convert people to Islam.
They attract more people to Islam than anyone else. Okay? All right. What else we got? Luke,
With the embassy work,
what about them?
it's like they like conquered like
Yeah, but there's no forced conversion. Okay, let me teach you another thing that you can do with your vocab. Okay, so we already have Sufis. Okay, you can build off of Sufis to get your second vocab term. Does that make sense? So if you know another term that kind of applies to Sufis, that is a good, solid vocab term, then it can work. So if you use Sufis as your evidence and then you use a nice fancy vocab word with Sufis to explain it, then you get 2 for the price of 1. Isn't that nice? That's nice. So does anyone know a fancy word that we could use that also is attracting? What do you got, Thomas?
I was gonna say griots.
Griots is a great answer. Griots. And who are griots?
They're like African storytellers.
Okay, and how do they tie to Islam?
They
Oh, God. Oh, God.
they're
Viola.
They're the historical storytellers, and they're the ones who spread the religion because they're the only ones who all about it.
Yeah, who spread Islam. Using African culture. So they're the first ones to really embrace it, and then they use African culture to justify Islam. It's a really beautiful thing. What is the one thing I haven't done so far for you people right here? Analysis. You need to do analysis. I haven't done it. I'm actively not doing it for you. So even though I plan out everything else for you, I have not done your analysis. So that needs to be done tonight. And after you write it, it should be pulling it through. What do you got, Emerson?
Are we making one essay or 2?
It's 2 chunks. It's asking for 2 separate things. It's 2 paragraphs, yeah. All right. Christianity. Do we got anything? It's universalizing.
Crusades.
Okay, Crusades is a terrible answer. 4th period tried making the argument and I reject it. I appreciate your enthusiasm for the wrong answer, but no. Because Crusades, are they? And does anyone convert because of the Crusades? No, actually, more Christians convert out of Christianity into Islam because of the Crusades. So it's actually a losing event. What do we got? Nola.
Maybe like the Roman, church? Wait, that's the Roman church?
I've heard men think about the Roman Empire a lot. I've learned a lot about that lately. And I asked my husband, and he actually does. And it blows my mind. And
Like the
continue.
Pope, like seeks
What about the
converts?
Pope? No, the Pope doesn't do shit except make arguments. And I'm Catholic, and I can say that. Sorry, my love. I appreciate the effort, but I'm rejecting you. Thomas!
Monasteries?
Monasteries? They're converting people?
I mean, I guess they attract people.
They do, and they attract who? Not monasteries, though. There's one group of people who are like, hell yes, come on, the monastic way of life. Come on, who would be interested? Who's trying to escape? What do you got? Thomas?
Serfs?
No.
Hindus?
Dylan?
Lower caste people in India.
There's no Christianity in India.
Islam.
Guys, you might be planning the poor. Okay. Hello. Okay. Universalizing. Okay. You need to know that in Christianity, they're allowed to do what that Islam is not. Yeah. Do you think they get a lot of people by forced conversions? Yeah. That's how they get their numbers so big for quite some time. Forced conversions. What is that for forced conversion? By the way, the answer I was looking for is nunneries, which was where nuns go. Why? Who's attracted to being a nun? Women. It was your only escape. You're either going to be a nun or you're going to be married with like 15 kids. So what did women choose a lot of? Nah. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. And it was to escape the being trapped in the single role women had for most of eternity. Forced conversions. Okay. What is a forced conversion? What does it mean, Ellery? Yeah, you die or convert. Okay. Well, let's build off of this one since you clearly don't know anything else about Christianity and universalizing. Okay. We know for a fact who is forbidden from doing it. Is it Muslims? Muslims are people who practice. Okay. Where is it say that? The Quran. So we're using forced conversions to get to what other vocab term? Quran. Do you see what we did there? Okay. You need to spend a little time chatting this up. Chatting up. You need to spend some time explaining what forced conversions are, why Christians are using it, and then at the end you can be like, by the way, the Quran says no, is forbidden in Islam. Okay, it's forbidden in Islam, and that's how you can sneak your way into the second point. Is everyone clear on that? Do you see how it's kind of a game? If you don't know two flat out that tie directly to the content and they're beautiful, then back your way into it and come up with another way to get it. I have not done a analysis. So you need to do that tonight. You need to spend a little time talking about your forced conversions if you're going to use it to jump into Islam. Is everyone clear on that? Okay. You should mention war. Yeah. That's why Christians go to wars. They can go force people. What do you got, Nolan? Do I plan out my analysis?
Like on the page?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
I'm fine with you writing out your essay and then using that as an opportunity to just go straight through. All right, which one are we doing next? One seems to be more popular. All right, here you go, Nola. Thank you for letting me use that. We're doing one? Okay. Stimulus 1 is what I'm writing on the top of mine. How much time do I have? Oh, shit. No way.
So we can maybe get to
Huh?
we can maybe get to
I don't know. I have very little faith in you people finishing this one. You people have been slow. I literally carried the last one. Did you see how much I did on the last one? Here we go. In your response, be sure to address all parts of the question. Use complete sentences in an outline or bulleted list. Alone is not acceptable. Answer all parts of the question that follows. Identify one way that the technological changes facilitated trade in the Indian Ocean Basin. We love it. Explain one way that trade in the Indian Ocean in 1200 to 1450 led to political change. See, they're excited next door for us. Explain one way that trade in the Indian Ocean in 1200 to 1450 led to cultural changes. I wanted to make sure you read all of them before you got too excited here and you started using. You do understand if you use something for A, you cannot use it or C. If you use something in B, it can't be used anywhere else. So once you use it, it's gone. Is everyone clear? All right, here we go. What do we got for A? Identify one way that technological changes facilitated trade. What do we got for A? I've already talked to all these people. There's so many people in the room. Jade.
The Chinese created the juke.
And what are you going to use for evidence? Welcome to it. We can do a better, we can do a nice easy one. Rank us.
Could we use the traveling tools and then use something like the juke for evidence?
Yeah, juke is a great piece of evidence because I don't know if I can build off a case too much of it. Juke is a great piece of evidence. So what's your original statement there, boss?
Navigational.
You can't, no, you're already wrong. You're already wrong. You gotta be specifics. Talk in specifics. Navigational technology. Like, what are you talking about? Like a stick and a magnet? Like, use specifics. What would be a tool?
A compass and then juke.
A compass? Do you have two facts that come off a compass? That's why you can't use a compass. Guys, there's a nice, beautiful, super easy answer that I've taught you this term 1,000 bajillion times. Emerson. Yeah, but what are you going to do for your two pieces of evidence? Okay, can we just do monsoon winds? Can we just do you see how that one's easier? Hello? Monsoon winds. And what are monsoon winds? Viola.
Seasonal winds.
Seasonal winds where?
North, south, and then.
Oh, I don't care about that specific. In IOB, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see how by choosing monsoon winds, oh my God, what pieces of evidence make complete and utter sense, Jade? Yes, the juke. The juke. And why is the juke an important piece of evidence? What does it allow? No, that's not a safety thing. What does it allow, Callie? What? No. Oh no. Please help me, Izzy. Shallower. It opens. Shallower ports. For trade. Okay, which equals more ports. When you have more ports, you have equals more money. Okay, Chinese juke. What else is another one? Mr. Rinkus, do you have anything you'd like to add to this conversation?
Compass.
You can't just say compass because there's multiple types of compasses. You have to use in.
Magnetic compass.
Oh, I think that's a lovely answer. Do you see how that's a better answer here than it is for your actual answer? Okay, so your magnetic compass, Jesus. Magnetic compass. And why is the magnetic compass a big deal, Rinkus?
Because it helped them travel through the oceans without following
Perfect. It allows direct sailing lanes away from coastline. Okay. Do you see how monsoon winds gives us the platform to jump into other things? It's a better argument. Now, was your Latin sails that Emerson said, and the compass and the juke and all that stuff good answers? Yes, but is it the best answer? No. You got to think about, can I defend this and provide two pieces of evidence? If you can't, you got to figure something else out. B. I have not come up with analysis. All right, here we go. B. Explain one way that trade in the Indian Ocean period of 1200 to 1450 led to political change. Ooh. Stella? I like that confidence. She was like, oh, I got it. Here we go. Let's hear it.
The Mongol Empire followed.
No. Why is she wrong? Why is she wrong, Dylan?
They never went to the ocean.
Yeah, they're not in the Indian Ocean Basin. You're in the wrong region. Yeah, it's a 0. Sorry. Izzy. They're no. Why is she wrong? It's West Africa. It's not in the Indian Ocean Basin. So, hi, do your regions matter? Do you need to know your regions in accordance to your trade routes? Because if you start talking about Malay, you are fundamentally wrong. Everything you wrote is a complete zero, even if it's beautiful to read. Brings tear to my eyes how much you learn about Malay, but the fact that you don't know it's on the west, not on the east coast of Africa, you get nothing. Amy. Does Islam. You just want me to write Islam.
Does it count as a political change?
No, you can't just scream
No, but
Islam.
Don't they like spread their values across?
Yeah, but that's not, that's culture. Religion is culture. What do you got, Thomas?
Oh, I was gonna say like the voyages of like Chinese admiral like Zi Hang, like after like.
Yeah, that's Ming Dynasty, dude. That's after 1450. So that's a no-go. Nola.
What about like?
By the way, you could open your notes and try to help yourself instead of staring blankly at me.
Are these the boats that go to Europe? Or no?
No, Europe doesn't open up to train until 1452 is their first time in the basin. Charlie!
Wait, are diaspora communities cultural or what?
Cultural. What do you got?
South Asia with India gaining power and wealth from the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, but you're not giving me any, you're not saying anything. Donald, you're not saying anything. The rise of what empire? If you give me a dynasty tied to it, I'll be happy to give it to you, but you have literally said nothing. It is about specifics. If you just throw words at me, I'm going to reject it because you're not saying anything. Dylan.
Neo-Confucianism?
What the hell are you talking about? That's a culture thing. That's not a political thing.
Isn't that?
Are we doing political? It's political. Okay, Amy.
The Ming Dynasty
Ming
didn't
Dynasty. What about it?
like
That's the guy.
He spread like he was telling everybody about the Ming Dynasty and he wanted to know why.
Yeah, but it's like right on the cusp of 14. It's like 1453 is his first voyage, so it's out of date. Nash.
The Delhi Sultanate in South Asia.
Thank you. Delhi Sultanate. And what are they famous for, Mr. Nash, since you educating your peers right now? I can't yell at Amy for just saying Islam, and you just saying Islam. They're the first Islamic empire in South Asia. Okay, we need to have two things to support it. What do we got? Guys, if you don't know anything about the Delhi Sultanate, you do know things about Islam. So what can we say? Or Hinduism, because it's in South Asia, so we know Hinduism. Like, wiggle something in. Like, don't sit there and be like, oh, I don't know anything about the Delhi Sultanate. Make it work. Emerson. Well, you can't just say caste. Caste is a good answer, but what does the Delhi Sultanate have to do with the caste? Are you just throwing words at me, Emerson? Help me argue. Caste. Caste works. Dylan.
It was like an out for Hindus.
Yeah, Hindus are going to convert to escape it. Hindus convert to escape. There you go. Okay? Now, we could jump off of this, if you can come up with something off the caste system, that we can try tying back to Islam being there, or we can come up with something completely new and fresh on its own. Viola.
The divide between Islam and Hinduism leads to a decentralized government.
No, that doesn't happen until later. I mean, it's not wrong, but you haven't given me a vocab term either, though. Does that make sense? You're kind of speaking in vague components.
The Empire.
Suriva Empire is not in South Asia. It's in Southeast Asia. Suriva Empire, we're talking about Delhi Sultanate. So you're talking about changing the whole prompt to get it. Does that make sense? So we cannot change it that far. We're too deep in. Nash.
Calcutta, when was the trade city in Ireland?
Calcutta. Okay, major trade city. Okay, we need to add a little pizzazz since we're just stating a name. Okay, anything else we can add to Calcutta? What are they exporting out of it? Spices isn't what India is really known for, but we can write spices. Spices, cotton, people. Cotton is one of their big exports. Okay. No, that's China. All right, C. Whew.
I can already see two separate analyses.
There you go. Explain one way that trade in the Indian Ocean period 1200 1450 led to a cultural change. By the way, religion is cultural. All right, here we go. Charlie.
Did you say the diasporic communities?
Diasporic communities. Now, do you have two pieces of evidence for those diasporic communities?
Intermarriage.
Intermarriage is going to be a weak answer on that one. Do you know the names of some of your Swahili city-states? Then that's a no-go. It is a good answer, but if you can't throw out some of my actual cities' names, then it doesn't work. Like Kingdom of X. All right, what else? Thomas. Guys, where do we see a religion change? It's not on the Indian Ocean Basin, so if you're going to East Coast, you told me already you don't know your Swahili city-states to give me more information from there. What do we got? Amy. Cool, what's your vocab term? Khmer Empire. What is the Khmer Empire? Bye. I got one completely done and 2/3 of the other. I would tell you right now, we need to appreciate our weekly studies a little bit more, yes? Hopefully you see that it's not just learning for a test, it's about for the AP exam, yes? Maintaining this content, curating this content, having it. Bye! It is much better when everyone brings their work, isn't it? So much better.